We are live. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Ooh! Share the show, share the show. Oh, I forgot my glass. Bring the music down, bring the music down. Share the show. Woo! My people. How you doing? How you doing? Today, my people, your favorite host, AUSARES, Louise Uwacu in the building. Welcome back to You and I Talk Show, broadcasting live from Vancouver, Canada. My people, today we are on Saturday, August 17th. Yes. So, what we talking about? What we talking about? My people, oh my God, I'm going to comment a little bit in English and then move into French and then move into Kinyarwanda. I see your comments on YouTube. Okay, let's take off the glasses. It's a joke. It's a joke. If you guys don't know the joke, then you should be watching the show more often. My people. So what we're talking about today, I'm gonna share my screen and then I'm gonna show you what I'm trying to talk about today. So the title of the show, the live show anyways, dictatorship coming to the UK, and the UK, of course, by the UK I mean Canada as well. And then we're gonna talk about black magic at the Olympics. And then in Kenya, Rwanda, we're gonna talk about Burundi. The president of Burundi has forgiven someone who had been accused of being a Rwandan spy, and then so the president forgave them. We're gonna talk about that in Kinyarwanda, maybe even in French. Could be concerning to the Congolese as well. So before that, I'm going to talk about this dictatorship thing coming to the UK and Canada. So my people, welcome to the show. Share the show everywhere, and let's share the show, share the love. I've been getting censored a lot on Facebook. Every time I post something on Facebook, I get censored. So that's even the whole black magic thing that I'm going to talk about, because it got censored on Facebook. So now I have to talk about it. If they didn't censor it, I wouldn't have made a video about it. But since they be censoring me, so I ain't got no choice but to talk about it on video. You know what I mean? So, but we're going to talk about that idea of dictatorship in Canada and the UK, and this whole mess, drama about immigration and all that stuff, right? So, yeah. And I'm going to use a post that I was just reposting on Twitter, the X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, so which is X Twitter, the X Twitter. So yeah, oh yeah, and it has to do with this Muslim religion thing in Canada, right? Canada and the UK right now having issues, and the whole dictatorship coming to Canada also going through this religious war that people are trying to create in Canada, so we're gonna go on X and see some of the posts that have been happening, and then comment on this. So, like, for example, look at this, This person posting, please be cor- co- co- cautious, courteous, courteous. Well, yo, how do you pronounce that? I don't even know how to read that. Courteous. Ah, yeah. In case people don't know, it does say in my Instagram description of what I am and who I am that I am an undercover comedian. You know, people come on this show and they see us laughing about everything and they don't get it. But if they just look in my description, my bio on Instagram says that I'm an undercover comedian. M Joshua 8 on Instagram. I see you. Louise Uwacu uraho komera cyane. I see you. Sasha Baritonda. I see you. Cat 534 and DBLYE. Thank you, everybody who is joined in from all the platforms. So, many Muslims live in this area and dogs are considered filthy in Islam. Please keep your dogs on a leash and away from the Muslim who live in this community. Oh my God. People are going to create drama in this country because of religion. It is total madness. You know, for many years in the West, in Canada, they have fought for freedom of speech. They have fought for their own freedom of thinking. And then they have fought for the freedom to exist with or without religion. You know, they stood up against their own religion, Christianity, Catholics, and all religion, you know. So much so that in Canada, even churches, we used to even like rent church basement and have parties in church basements. That's how far they have gone to challenge their religion, to question their religion, and then to go even as far as laughing about their religion, mocking about their religion. And it's been going on because they have this culture of democracy and freedom of speech and freedom of thinking, and they can talk about everything and discuss everything. So, and it's been a process, right? It's been a process, and they have been developed and developing this process for a long time, and they have achieved these freedoms. It did not happen overnight, but now it seems as if all these things that they had achieved in Canada, in the UK, it's all going to trash because there's this new people, new religion coming in, and the new people, new religion, they're not respecting the fight that has been put in for so many years for Canadians and all these other people to be free from religious people. So this is what we're going to talk about. So if Christianity has been challenged, then Islam as well needs to be challenged, because we live in a country which has the freedom of speech, and in Islamic countries you cannot challenge Islam. So if somebody is going to challenge Islam, they're going to do it in Canada, because at least in Canada people have freedom of speech, they have freedom of thinking, and they can challenge everything and anything openly. Now the problem is, oh my goodness, the problem is, let me take that off for a second so you can see me fully. The problem is that when Canadians challenge this thing or question this thing, this new religion that's coming into their society and try to take over, when they try to do this and challenge it, say anything about it, they call them racists. Yeah. So this is what we're going to talk about. So their government, the UK government, the new prime minister, and the Canadian government, the Liberal prime minister, and of course helped with the NDP, they try to trash Canadian freedoms, UK freedoms, things that their ancestors have fought for generations, in the name of comforting and protecting new immigrants' feelings. So they will bring in dictatorship in Canada and enslave Canadians who were already here, who had achieved these rights, in the name of welcoming in and comforting newcomers' feelings. It's total madness. All right, so let's talk about it, my people. Welcome to the show. Share, like, subscribe, everything. All right, AUSARES, Louise, Uwacu, welcome back to You and I Talk Show. All right, my people. So yeah, so let's go see this. What's happening? People are trying to bring dictatorship in Canada, the UK, and all these places. But their people have fought against dictatorship for generations. The democracy and freedoms that they have, it did not come overnight. And I would advise Canadian people, UK people, all the people who are feeling threatened right now to stand up and defend what your ancestors fought for. Look at this stuff, my people. This is happening in Toronto. So this is the Playboy reporter, you know, all the people that have been watching and on YouTube talking about Toronto is unrecognizable after 9 years of Justin Trudeau. Downtown streets are now regularly being blocked for prayers. In the tolerant Canada I grew up in, this kind of stuff stayed inside churches, most temples. I never signed up for whatever this is. My people, what is that? You know, why in Canada, people in the name of Palestine, they also want to destroy Canada? Because Canada gives freedom to everyone. So you can come to Canada and you can keep practicing your religion, fine, right? Nobody cares. You can do whatever you want, you can practice your religion. But everybody has their own religion and everybody has the freedom to practice their own religion. No religion is superior to other religions. And as I was saying, Canadians have been challenging their religions for generations, and they've had their own freedoms. They have earned their own freedom to be free from religion. And on top of that, to have separation of church and state, so that they may separate religion from political issues and political matters and from the state. Now, here comes new immigrants, newcomers, a new religion in Canada, and they're mixing up everything in the name of a political cause. And now they use their religion to defend a political cause. And then they take over Canadian streets with the religion to defend a political cause. Isn't that against the law and against the ideals of democracy and freedom, where people have agreed that there should even be separation between church and state, between religion and politics? Why is it that some people are allowed to mix religion with politics and then to take over everybody else's public space in the name of a religion that is defending a political case? My people, take time to reflect about it. Take time to think about it. Nobody else uses their religion to push a political agenda or to be like, oh, we are this religion and we're supporting so and so political movement, and our religion is therefore allowed to take up space and occupy all your cities and trash everybody else's religion's rights and freedoms. So now we're going from, I don't know, racism, white supremacy to Arab supremacy and Islam supremacy. Like, what is that? Canada, everybody is equal, everybody is free in front of the law. If everybody is equal and free in front of the law, and there is something called separation of church and state, for everybody else, why is it that one church, one religion can be allowed to mix with the state affairs, with politics? So, in the name of defending Palestine or on any other cause, you're going to use Islam and then destroy and trash every other Canadian's freedoms and rights to defend your cause in Canada or in the UK. What is that, my people? I'm asking questions because at least in Canada, we are still allowed to ask some questions, eh? In some of these dictatorship countries, you're not allowed to ask questions. And in many places where many new immigrants and newcomers come from, they're not allowed to ask questions. You would not be allowed to go to any of these places and protest in the streets, any Islamic countries or any people where they have Islam as the top religion, main religion. Could you protest in the streets and take over the streets using your religion, defending a cause in another country abroad? Could you do that? Why do people come to Canada? Why do people leave their own countries and they come to Canada where they have freedom? Yes, you have freedom. It's so that you may have freedom, but everybody has the same freedom in Canada. So why should your religion now be superior to everybody else's religion and beliefs and freedom? And then you take over Canadian streets with your religion. Now, what about if I'm here and I'm a spiritual person and I'm an African and I want to protest and talk about Congo, how Congo has been getting destroyed, how Canadian mining companies are involved, and organize protests in Congo, and then take over Canadian streets, practicing African voodoo in your streets, Canada. I think I'm about to organize African voodoo sessions in the streets of Canada, man. What do you think, my fellow Canadians? What do you think? Why is it that one religion is allowed to take over Canadian streets as if in Canada there's no separation of church and state, as if it's allowed to hide behind a religion and defend a political cause? So then some Africans are going to take over your streets and start practicing whatever religion, do some chicken sacrifices in your streets, man. Spill blood in your streets and then be like, oh, it's my religion. It's my religion. And if you do not allow me to do this, you are so racist. No. We are in Canada because we have freedom and everybody has freedom and everybody has the same freedoms. So I don't see why any one single religion should be treated special and have special access and take over the streets and then kill freedom for everybody else. So you can defend your cause, but it could be in a civilized manner that respects everybody else's spirituality, beliefs, and freedoms as well, So I don't know what my fellow Canadians think about this. So, in the name of defending a cause outside over there, overseas, you're going to trash the country that welcomed you and the country that gives freedom to everybody else? No. At some point, all Canadians and the rest of Canada have to say no. When the Freedom Convoy in Canada, I can end up on this. When the Freedom Convoy in Canada, when they stood up for freedom, resisting the Liberal government, which was trying to violate and to occupy everybody's body with the experimental injections. And then the Freedom people, the Freedom Convoy stood up in Canada. They didn't occupy the streets praying to Jesus, saying, oh, This is Christians defending. No, it was all Canadians. It was inclusive. It was not a religious thing. So how come people to defend a cause that's not even happening in Canada, they're going to use their religion and take over public space for everybody else? Canada. Is this the Canada that you want and that you want to leave to your children, where a religion is allowed to mix itself into politics and to inject it into politics? Now we can't talk about religion and we can't talk about politics because everything is mixed up. Is this like you have fought for generations to have democracy, to have freedom for everyone, and everyone is equal in front of the law? Now you're going to trash everything in order to comfort some newcomers? Yo, I'm a newcomer in Canada. I came to Canada as a refugee. And by newcomer, I mean I've been here for over 20 years. But still, I consider myself as a newcomer. And I'm asking you, all Canadians in charge of politics, do not, for the sake of comforting my feelings and welcoming me and making me comfortable in your country, do not trash your own freedoms, your own rights that your ancestors have fought for generations. The freedom and the liberty and the rights that you have is why I left a criminal dictatorship in the first place. I left the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda to come and be free in Canada. So if you trash the freedom in Canada, what was the point and the purpose of those people who live dictatorship to come to Canada to live in freedom? And how are we going to allow for everybody else's freedom to disappear because of one group, one religion, when Canada is supposed to protect all groups, all religions, and no group, no religion should be special in front of the law? So all these things that you have achieved, separation of church and state, and the freedom for everyone, freedom from religion, freedom to criticize religion as well, to even laugh about religion, to even not be religious at all. I love this about Canada. And so please, my fellow Canadians, if you hear me, you understand what I'm saying, tell me, what is that? Let's not allow one religion, one group to trash and to destroy what is so good for the rest of Canada, and what has been so good for the rest of Canada for generations now. Freedom for all and equality in front of the law for everyone. And then when you criticize them, we're not going to allow people to be calling people names, Islamophobia, racist nonsense, when you're just criticizing what is happening, what is going on. All right, my people. So that's what I had to say in English. My fellow Canadians or people in the UK, let me know what you think. All right. So we're going to move into French. La famille, vous êtes là ou vous êtes là? Bon, on bouge en français. Oh, on est là. Bon, aujourd'hui, c'est samedi, le 17 août. On va parler de quoi en français même? On va aller sur Twitter, ex-Twitter, et puis je vais vous dire de quoi on va parler. Soyez là, oh, partagez, oh.